Hey guys, today we are going to be doing a yoga class for anxiety and stress, and there are just some simple things that we're going to do to improve concentration and deepen the breath. Two things that can really help when you're feeling anxious, just anything that can really anchor you into the present moment. This class will also help to increase mobility and lessen your muscle tension, which will all really help feeling better. So let's go ahead and get started at the front of our mats. Go ahead and separate your feet wider than hip distance apart. And part of just this class today is moving a little bit slower and really feeling anchored in our breath. So feeling rooted through your feet. Feel that energy move up your body, lengthen your spine, drawing the tailbone in. Allow your shoulders to soften. And I'd like you to just close your eyes for a moment and allow your jaw to soften, feeling that space in your mouth, feeling rooted through your feet, and really allowing your face to soften. And you can open your eyes, keep your jaw nice and soft. Go ahead and bring your arms overhead, bringing the arms overhead, nice long spine, relax the shoulders, and keep that length in the spine. Go ahead and drop your arms and keep that spine long as you bring the hands onto the legs or onto the floor. It can be a nice soft bend in your knees. And just starting to breathe a little bit deeper into that abdomen and allowing the shoulders to roll back, feeling rooted through the feet. And go ahead and wherever your arms are, just walk it out a little bit. Bend one knee at a time. You can drop your head and allow that breath to deepen with your movement. And just feeling that stretch in your legs and nice deep breath. And a few more breaths here, rolling the shoulders back, allowing the head to hang. You can use that hand on the leg to move a little deeper by pulling. And a soft bend in the knees, root down through your feet. Come on up, go ahead and lengthen through the spine. Bring those arms overhead, and you can just bring the fingertips back, tucking the tailbone in, soft back bend. And coming back to center, go ahead and bring your feet a little less than hip distance apart. And I'd like you to just kind of rock forward, rock back, feeling rooted through your feet. Softness in your toes, softness in your jaw and your face. And go ahead and bring the arms overhead, nice long spine. And keeping that spine nice and long, go ahead and drop the arms, forming an L shape, and go ahead and just hold here for a second. Feeling the thighs engage a little bit more, feeling rooted through your feet. I'd like you to lift your toes, all toes, just feeling that pressure throughout the foot, the tripod of the foot, which I'll talk more about. You can drop your toes and drop your hands onto the floor. You can grab hold of your legs, moving a little bit deeper into the hamstrings with the feet closer together, So the tripods of the feet below the big toe, below the little toe, and center of the heel, really balancing your weight through the feet. And relax your head, let the shoulders roll back. And just a nice soft bend in those knees. I'd like you to place your hands on the mat. Go ahead and spread your fingers really wide. And you're just going to step yourself back nice and slow into plank position. And drawing the tailbone in, drawing the thighs back, forming a nice straight line. If this feels like too much, you can just drop your knees. And same thing, drawing the tailbone in and the thighs back. Starting to engage the arms a little more. wherever you're at, focusing on the breath, relax your face and go ahead and draw the thighs back. Downward facing dog. You can bring your heels down towards the mat, nice long spine as you press through those hands, especially the inner palms below, in between the forefinger and the thumb. Really pressing those thighs back. And you can just walk it out and really focusing on that breath. Relax your face. And just syncing that breath with any type of movement. Rolling the shoulders back, dropping the heels. And you can just drop your knees. Go ahead and bring the big toes together. And knees are going to be wider than hip distance apart. Go ahead and drop your hips towards your heels. Wherever you're at is perfect. Just so long as you're breathing into your hips. You can just drop that head. And this is my favorite position if I have 1 minute to make myself feel better. If I'm feeling anxious, I'll do this pose. So just let your head feel heavy and allow your hips to really sink down. If your hips are up, that's fine. Just breathe into those hips, relax your head. And go ahead and walk your hands forward. Feeling length in your spine, spreading across your shoulders, really press those palms, breathe into those hips. And nice deep breaths here. And you can come on up, doing a few cat-cows, increasing the mobility in the spine. This is a great way to increase flexibility in the spine in a very safe way. Inhale, go ahead and round. And exhale, arch, opening up the shoulders. Go ahead and look up. And do a few at your own pace, 5 or 6. And make sure that your elbows are nice and soft. You're not locking your elbows. Nice deep breaths. And a few more at your own pace. And relax your jaw, relax your face. This time, go ahead and bring your big toes together. Actually, there's about a 1/2 inch in between your big toes. They're not quite touching. And you can sit back. Go ahead and grab hold of your little toe and just really spread your toes as wide as you can. And holding your little toes, go ahead and see if you can get your sit bones in between your heels. And this is a really comforting position that we're going to get into. So you can go ahead and stack your forearms coming into child's pose in a really nice way for the low back. And you can just rest your head. If this is too much, you can even just bring yourself onto your forearms. Wherever you're at, just feeling that space in your low back. And breathing into that abdomen. Feeling your connection to the earth here. And you can start to walk your hands forward, feeling more length in your spine, rolling the shoulders, not crowding the ears with your shoulders. And go ahead and come on up. And we're gonna do something to improve our concentration, which anchors us into the present, helps with anxiety. Go ahead and bring your left leg up, and nice soft bend in your elbows. Go ahead and just bring that thigh up, tucking the tailbone in, not overarching your low back. If this feels good, stay here. Otherwise, go ahead and bring your right arm up and really reach through the fingertips, reach through those toe tips, feeling length in the spine, strength in your core, and remember to breathe and soften your face. And you can drop your limbs, and opposite side, go ahead and lift that right leg, pressing the thigh back and the tailbone in. Lift that left arm and really reaching through your limbs, reaching through those toe tips, those fingertips, and nice strong core, feeling anchored in your center, in your core. And a few breaths here. And you can drop your limbs and go ahead and spread your fingers wide. Knees are about hip distance apart. Come on up into downward facing dog, pressing the thighs back. Really pressing through the thighs. You can open up your hips a little bit. Go ahead and drop that right heel as you lift the left leg. And you can just open up that left hip. You can drop the left foot. And remembering to breathe. Notice if you're holding your breath. You can drop that leg and opposite leg. Go ahead and anchor that left heel as much as you can. Bring that right leg up. You can bend that right knee as you let that left heel sink towards the floor. Pressing through your palms. Drop that right leg. Go ahead and walk yourself forward and do a nice forward bend, feet hip distance apart. Just walking your feet forward, making sure your toes are aligned. Go ahead and look up, forming a nice L shape. And you can drop your hands. And a few nice deep breaths here into your abdomen, rolling the shoulders back, feeling anchored through your feet. Go ahead and press through the feet, come on up. And just a nice soft back bend, coming up to a standing position. Go ahead and bring your feet together. Just one last thing to help stretch out this psoas area that can get really tight. So a forward fold, keep your spine nice and long as you come down. And you can let your knees bend just slightly or a little bit more if you're feeling stiff. And go ahead and step back into lunge position. Step your right foot back, and you're gonna drop that right knee. And you wanna make sure that your knee isn't moving too far past your ankle. You don't wanna feel any pain in your knee. And you can stay here. So the goal is to drop that right thigh as you open up the shoulders. And if you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands onto your knee. Keep dropping that right thigh. And if you want a little more, you can bring the arms overhead. And really sinking the hips down as you lengthen through the spine, reaching through the fingertips. You can even do a little back bend if you want even more. Reaching your fingertips back as you drop that right thigh. And go ahead and bring the palms back. You can tuck your toes under and maybe take a little hop on your way back to forward fold. Go ahead and rock your feet a little bit, balancing your weight. Nice L shape. Opening up the chest and Hands back on the floor. Go ahead and step the opposite foot back, which would be my left foot. Go ahead and lunge position on that opposite side. You can drop that left knee. And again, just take care of your forward knee. And dropping that left hip as you open up the shoulders. You can bring your hands onto your knee, really dropping the left hip. And if you want more, you can bring the arms overhead, really lengthening that spine. Finally, you can bring the arms back, dropping the knee, moving into that psoas muscle, that fight or flight muscle, and leaning into the discomfort, breathing. And you can bring your hands back onto your mat. Go ahead and tuck the toes under, and you can just step your foot back to standing position, kind of rock your feet a little bit, balance your weight, and look up. Long spine, go ahead and drop your hands, soft knees, and just take a few breaths. Let your head be heavy, roll your shoulders back, relax your abdomen. And you can come to a standing position. Go ahead and bring the arms overhead, long spine. You can reach the hands back. And coming back to center. That is it for our class today. I hope that you enjoyed this class, and I look forward to seeing you in more of my Feel Better yoga series here on Psyche Truth.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.